Hey everybody, Chewie 891 here coming at you today with episode 2 of Chewie's Bodega. Today we're going to talk about the Mandalorian. It's amazing season finale. What I loved about it, what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it. We're also going to talk about the sports weekend. We got the Green Bay Packers not performing so well against the Carolina Panthers, which is shocking. Not blowing them out. Who's really the best team in football right now? And just how crazy this weekend was for fantasy football, man. I'll show you guys my fantasy football team in a minute and show you all the weird scenarios that happened that ended up losing this week and not playing for a championship. But we're going to start this off, man. First off, let's talk about the Mandalorian. The Mandalorian, first off, season 2. Very, 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 very successful season 2. Amazing throughout, outside of a few slow episodes here and there, but they were still enjoyable, like episode 2, I believe, or 3, that had the spider thing and all that stuff. It was fine. But I didn't find myself bored throughout the season at all. There was a few slow points here and there, but all throughout it was just a phenomenal season, well paced. You got a whole bunch of reveals. You got Ahsoka Tano, right, in live action for the first time, which is cool. You got some other surprising. Boba Fett's back. I mean, and now all of a sudden he's getting his new show. Like, that's insane. That's really crazy. Just really good stuff, man. It was nice to see the Mandalorian succeed. You know, just come up with a really great story with how the years gone and everything. And it just makes me fall in love with Star Wars again. Now, granted, I've always loved Star Wars. I've always liked Star Wars. But I kind of fell out of it with the movies that came out and everything. And I just wasn't feeling it anymore, you know. And the Mandalorian just gave me those feels again, and now I'm starting to, enjoy it more, And then I would just like to thank Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni. You guys did a great job, man. You're giving me hope again with the Star Wars, by the way. So, which is awesome. So let's get to the final episode of that Mandalorian episode. Final episode of Mandalorian. That was terrible. But yeah, let's just get to that final episode, man. And we start off this episode with them capturing the clone doctor, the one who's been trying to get Grogu's blood. And so we get on that ship, and of course Mando, Baba, I think it was Mando, Cara Dune, and someone else. What doesn't matter? They all get in the ship, they hijack it, they want to take the clone doctor, and then all of a sudden one of the Imperial Guards shows up. Not Imperial Guards, but one of the people that work for the Empire. Put the gun to his head, and of course, shit-talking Cara Dune, talking about how they exploded Alderaan, and he talks about, how many people we lost, when you destroyed a Death Star and all this stuff, which always goes back to that scene in Clerks 2. I mean, not Clerks 2, Clerks 1, where he's talking about the second Death Star and about all the contractors and all that stuff and everything. It made me think about that movie a lot when he was making comments about that. Of course, he acts around by talking about Alderaan and blowing it up and killing, terrorists and all that stuff because they consider the Rebel Alliance terrorists. Because you got to remember, all this was happening. This is Empire. So anything against the Empire, you're considered bad, scum, terrorists, etc. That's what they were labeled. And of course, this pisses Cara Dune off, especially when we talk about blowing up somebody's planet and, he lost their family, friends, and everything like that. You're going to get a pissed off, anybody will get pissed off at that and just start laying waste to you, which happened. She went ahead, put a bullet in his head, and then that was the end of that scene. So then now we get to the part where, okay, we got the doctor, we got the ship, now it's time to sneak onto Moff Gideon's cruiser. No, actually, no. What ended up happening was, I think, did we... Hold on a minute. Well, either way, I think we go and get the Mandalorians. I can't remember the sequence of this. Yeah, I think we go get the Mandalorians, Bo-Katan, and Sasha Banks. Sorry, I had to pause there. I almost forgot how this episode went. So, from there, we get dialogue between Bo-Katan and Cara Dune. And, of course, Bo-Katan recognizes Cara Dune. I mean, not Cara Dune. Oh, my God. Boba Fett's voice. And, of course, she made some comments about the clones, that he's really not Mandalorian and all this other kind of stuff. And they had a little cool dialogue. And, of course, Sasha Banks and Boba get into a nice little Mandalorian fight, and which is awesome. At the end, they're both, like, shooting flames at each other. Like, it was awesome. And then from there, of course, Mando's like, hey, listen, Bo-Katan's like, hey, listen, if we had this much fight, we wouldn't have lost Mandalore to the Empire and all that stuff. So that's how they get Bo-Katan and Sasha Banks. I can't remember her character's name at all at the moment. But that's how they get them to go to help Mando get Grogu. So now they come up with a plan, and now we start off the next scene, I believe, with Boba Fett and Slave One chasing the Lambda with the clone doctor and Mando and all the monsters, so they can sneak on and start doing their thing. And just seeing the Slave One like going around and shooting stuff is just refreshing. I've never been a huge Boba Fett fan ever, and I never got the hype with him because my time watching Boba Fett was like him doing some, him being a bounty hunter in Empire Strikes Back. I don't remember if he's in the original cut of A New Hope or if that was an added scene or he's there. I can't remember, but he was there. And the next time you see him after Empire Strikes Back, after he catches Han Solo, is him getting knocked into the Sarlacc pit in a joking manner. So I just never understood I know Boba Fett's a really talented bounty hunter, but I didn't really get a chance to see it. But in this show, in Mandalorian Season 2, we get to see how good he is, how talented he is, and just a badass, So I have a higher appreciation for Boba Fett now. Now I get the hype. You know what I'm saying? I just needed to see it. That's all I'm saying, guys. I just needed to see it. That's it. So then we get there. So then that's happening. They're chasing, and then they finally get onto the ship. Boba Fett takes off. His part of the deal is done, right? And I thought, hey man, they're gonna keep him here. Boba Fett will help out. But you know what? They cleared it, and he's gone. And I think his part of the deal is over. He did what he needed to do. Gets Mando and everything onto the ship. And right now, so they split up. So they start off with the women, of course, coming off the ship and taking over Moff Gideon's starship or whatever it's called. And I'm telling you, the Empire, they wasted all that money on the Death Star. I'm sorry. Like, the Death Star is a really cool thing, but they could have spent some more money in training. Like, the stormtroopers are always terrible shots. They miss every single target, while, the rebels or whoever is opposing them just comes in and just blasts them and destroys them. And they always outnumber everybody, and they just can't seem to win. I know it's a show and everything, but I'm just saying, like, logically in my head, I'm thinking about this. Like, the type of training that these stormtroopers got was horrible. Like, you put that army anywhere, they get wiped off the face of the planet. You know what I mean? Like, they just suck. Like, the stormtroopers are just terrible. Whatever, it's comedic relief. I just love making that comic. They just come in, 4 women, just come in, dominate, shoot, taking over the ship. In the meantime, Mando is going off by himself to find Grogu. And the part of this plan is to, they have the Dark Troopers on there. So the part of the plan is, they're going to go split up and try to get Moff Gideon while Mando is going to go get Grogu, and because I think the Dark Troopers have like a couple of minute startup time or something like that when they get turned on or whatever. So the part of that is, so the Mando's going to go do that and just close the door and stop them from coming out of the door and just eject them out of the ship, which ends up happening because we get to a point where they're all taking the other side, Bo-Katan and Cara Dune. And I can't remember her name, Sasha Banks, whatever, go and try to take over the main part of the ship where Moff Gideon is. So they go and get there, Moff Gideon's not there. Clearly, Moff Gideon's going to go next to Grogu. You know what I mean? That's just, they should have thought of that. I mean, Moff Gideon's in this episode, Moff Gideon just showed how smart he is. Like, he's just a very, very smart, just military guy. He's just intelligent. He knows every situation. Let me get to that. I'll get to that in a minute. So Mando goes. So now they take over that. Moff Gideon's not there. Mando now is looking for Grogu, and he's getting into a fight with the Dark Trooper. And it feels like this is a scene out of Terminator and stuff, where it's just the machine just comes down and just starts laying waste to you. I just love how strong Beskar is, because it's just like the Dark Trooper grabs Mando, they start fighting, he just starts beating the hell out of Mando, and you're just hitting the helmet, and the helmet's not getting cracked or anything. But what's happening is behind him is putting a dent into that metal wall back there, which is hilarious. Just like, damn, like what can go through Beskar? I mean, I have to look that up. I have to do some research myself. Like, I'm curious as what can go through, because I mean, it was laying Mando like to waste. You know what I mean? And he was just, and he just took everything. And I mean, damn, it was just putting a dent in the metal wall. So then from there, Mando does have the Beskar spear. I believe he stabs the Dark Trooper, and he's able to get to the door, close it, and eject all the Dark Troopers, and they're off the ship now. So then we get to Mando getting to Grogu, and of course Moff Gideon is there, and Moff Gideon has the Darksaber. They get in some dialogue, start talking. He says, "Look, man, I just want the kid, man. You figure it out." And Moff Gideon's like, "Hey, listen, you can have him. I already took what I wanted from him, basically. But here, you can have him or whatever. We're done here." This was clearly a bait to get Mando, and this is why I love Moff Gideon. You're gonna see how genius he is in this episode. In my opinion, there's one other character that stole this episode, but Moff Gideon is number 2. So Mando goes up to Grogu, and Moff Gideon just starts attacking Mando. They just get into a fight, a really nice fight between the two, going back and forth, and you start seeing the clash between the Beskar spear and the Darksaber. You start seeing it turn red. You think it's about to break, and it's not, and they just they go back at it again, and Mando takes the win here. Captures Moff Gideon and gets Grogu. They go now. I love this scene. So I love this whole part here. So now they get to where Bo-Katan and everybody else is. Mando has a Darksaber, etc. So now, they're all talking or whatever, and I don't remember how this happened. I don't know if they see the Dark Troopers coming first, or Moff Gideon starts going into dialogue about the Darksaber, and this is where his genius just reigns. So, like, this is my thing about him just getting out of situations. So, he goes, and, I think they see the Dark Troopers coming back, and I think Moff Gideon either did something or hit something on it. I don't know. But he got the Dark Troopers to come back. So now they're flying in space, and they're on their way back to the ship, and we're like, dude, we're fucked, right? We're screwed. So the Dark Troopers are coming back, and then that's where he dropped the line. Moff Gideon goes, see, this is where I'm getting mixed up. I think the Darksaber, we're going to go with the Darksaber dialogue happened before the Dark Troopers are coming. So Moff Gideon's like, you won it by trial by combat, because Mando tried to give this spear back, tried to give the Darksaber back to Bo-Katan, she wouldn't accept it. And they're like, no. He's like, you don't know the history of this. You got to do trial by combat. You know what I mean? That's the only way the person can get the Darksaber. So that was Moff Gideon's way to try to get them to turn on each other, so that way they can have a battle for the Darksaber. But Mando's like, dude, I don't care. Just take it. But Bo-Katan won't take it because she's a traditional Mandalorian. There's tradition behind it. There can't be a story of someone just gave her the Darksaber. She has to earn it through battle. I just love that. I just love that about the Mandalorians. Like, they care about that. It's pride, But it could also be their downfall. You know what I mean? Which probably has been. So, yeah, we get there and we get that dialogue or whatever. You see the look on both their faces, and that's when the Dark Troopers show up. And then Moff Gideon's like, well, listen, you could let me go here. I could probably start with these Dark Troopers and yada yada yada. Because what's gonna happen is they're gonna come here. They're gonna kill everybody in here except for me and him, and you guys are done. So I'm your only way out right now. So then we get to it, and the Dark Troopers are like getting close to the door, and next thing you know, we see an X-Wing come in, just flying, one X-Wing. And I'm sitting there, and I got my buddy next to me, and we're watching. And we're like, nah. He's like, nah, bro. He's like, they're not going to pull this one too, right? They're not going to do this too, right? Rudy got Ahsoka Tano. You're not going to give me Luke Skywalker, right? And I had to sit there and watch it. I was on the edge of my seat, man. I had to get up, and I was geeking. I'm like, no way, dude. That's Luke, bro. That can't be Luke. I don't know. I don't want to get too excited for this. And the next thing you know, he lands. He comes out. It's a Jedi. They're going around killing, doing Jedi things and killing these Dark Troopers. Next thing you know, because we're looking at this all on the video monitor, and it's in black and white, so we can't really tell. The lightsaber's out. I don't know what color it is. So then we go back to the scene. He unleashes the lightsaber, and it's green. And I'm like, holy shit! And I see the hand. I'm like, this is Luke fucking Skywalker. And I'm like, thank you. This is the first time in, I don't know, 40 years or so that we see Luke Skywalker do something in live action. You know that's not in a video game? Like, it's fucking amazing. Like, I can't believe Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau did that, man. That's awesome. Like, I couldn't believe it. It was one of the greatest things I've seen. I mean, it made me feel good to see that. And Luke just going in and just annihilating all the Dark Troopers and then just force crushing the last one like his dad used to back in the fucking day. Like, it's awesome. Geeked out, man. Loved it. Loved every minute of it. And it was awesome to see all that. And then at the end, you know, they open the door because Grogu's looking at the monitor. And, you know, he's seeing all this, you know, and he comes in, he says, hey, I'm Luke Skywalker, you take it off, and it's CGI, obviously. Personally, I wish they would recast Luke Skywalker, get a younger actor, and, like, whatever. You know, you don't have to give me a series with Luke Skywalker, just recast him, you know, maybe have him show up in a few things and do some cool shit, or whatever, you know? Because we got a lot of series coming out. So then, Grogu... you know, doesn't want to go initially, and Luke says he wants your permission. And this part, like, you know, it's because the attachment that Mando has to Grogu is like, you know, he's close with the kid, right? He went around taking care of him and did all this for him. Basically, just it was a great scene, you know, because Grogu wanted to see his face, and of course, you know, Mando only takes off his mask when it's important or he wants to. So he takes it off and shows him his face, and then from there, you know, Mando gives him the okay, and then he goes on with Luke Skywalker, and then end credit scene, basically. Like, that was one hell of an episode. Like, this whole season is amazing, but that episode was out of this world. I thought Ahsoka Tano was going to be the best episode of this year. The finale was perfect. It hit everything. And now I know why Boba Fett wasn't there. Because if Boba Fett stayed on that fucking ship, him and Luke would have went at it. Okay? Boba Fett's still pissed about that, by the way. Has to be. Just overall great. And that's how I started my Friday, right? And by the way, Mandalorian's great. At the end, and then we get the end credits with Boba Fett killing Bib something. I forgot the guy's name already. Killed the guy that took over for Jabba. Now Boba Fett is basically running Jabba the Hutt's operations. And we're going to get a series next year, December 2021, called The Book of Boba Fett, which is awesome. So next year, we're going to have The Mandalorian Season 3, and we're going to have the Boba Fett show. Fucking phenomenal. Love it. Thank you, Dave Filoni. Thank you, Jon Favreau. Beautiful season. And Season 3 is going to be even better. Season 3... also, why I love Moff Gideon this episode. They didn't resolve the point. So Moff Gideon, there was a part where there's a gun on the ground, and he hit it. I think he still has that gun. Because I think how you're going to start off next season is, I think Mandalorian, they're going to try to turn him over to the Republic. And I think there's going to be some shit there where he gets away or whatever. So next season is going to be interesting. I think next season you're going to have the Moff Gideon turning him into the Republic. You're going to have the issue with the Darksaber. So I think you can end the Mandalorian with Season 3 if you can resolve the Darksaber situation and reforming Mandalore. I think next season that needs to focus on that. And I think next season needs to focus on just a little bit of, you know, Moff Gideon stuff. You know, New Republic and all that good stuff. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll get another Luke Skywalker scene next year. I don't know. But no, great season. Can't wait for next season. It's going to be phenomenal. Book of Boba Fett's going to be amazing. And there we go. Moff Gideon, to me, was like the second best character in this episode. He was just phenomenal. I love everything he did. And Giancarlo Esposito is just an amazing actor in everything he does. So, anyway, this is a combination. This is a combo episode. So this is going to be, now let's get into some sports. Tonight, let's talk about the Green Bay Packers this weekend. So the Green Bay Packers this weekend did not look so great against Carolina, a team I thought they should blow out. They won the game, period. It was a Saturday night game. I'll chalk up to some weird stuff, but this is the second time this year where they played a team that I didn't think was very good and they didn't beat them convincingly. That's just you don't. I hate teams that play down to their competition. I wish teams would stop this. But they continue to do it. They did it in this game, which is weird. All of a sudden, the offense and the defense is rolling. Next thing you know, the offense is there's 5 straight 3-and-outs. Aaron Rodgers gets sacked 4 straight times, and then Carolina got back in the game. Thank God that the Packers defense got that fumble. If they didn't, I think Carolina has a really good shot to win that game. Actually, which is concerning. They had another game like this against Jacksonville where they should have just blown them out. And they didn't. It's just, I'm a bit concerned. Granted, this is why I want them to have the 1 seed, and right now they look really, really good to get it. They do need to win their last 2 games. I think if they beat Tennessee, I think they have it locked. So I have to see what happens with everything else, how it plays out. Because I saw the scenario the other day. I think it's if New Orleans or... if New Orleans or the Rams or the Seahawks, one of those two lose, and the Packers beat Tennessee this weekend, I think then for sure they get the 1 seed. But I think with the win, I think they pretty much lock it in, honestly. But I have to look at the odds again. But they definitely need that 1 seed to play at home. This team cannot play on the road with that porous defense and how they play down to count. That's not how you win football games. You need to not play down to your opponent. That causes mistakes. That causes teams to stay in games. You don't do that. You beat them how you're supposed to beat them. Okay? A team like Carolina, you should have won by 14, 15, or 20 easily. You should have had at least 35 to 40 points in that game. Carolina's defense is not that good. They were ranked 26th in pass rush and ended up with 4 sacks that day. I don't know what the hell happened. All of a sudden, the offense was rolling. Next thing you know, the Carolina Panthers defense was just destroying the Packers' offensive line, which is shocking, which has played great all year. They just destroyed them, got a bunch of sacks, and it was just not great to see. Hopefully they clean it up this week. I think Derrick Henry's going to go for 200 this week because they're not going to stop Derrick Henry. That defense is not that good. So I think what's going to happen is I think this is going to be a high-scoring game this week. I think the Packers will pull this out. I have it at about 38, 31 Green Bay. I just don't think they're going to stop Derrick Henry. I think everyone's going to have to keep up with the points. And I think he will. I think he'll get it done. I think he's laser focused. I think he gets back on track with Devontae Adams, which I needed this week, by the way. But that's okay. That's another. We'll get in that in a minute. And we'll just see what happens. I think they can win this game, and I think they'll hold on to the 1 seed, and I think everybody's going to have to come to Green Bay to win this. And do they get a Super Bowl? I don't know. I think their chances are better if they're hosting games, period. That's just the way I look at it. So, let's see what happens. I was very disappointed in that performance, and it killed me in fantasy football, by the way, if you didn't get the anger there. So now, you had... And then we get this other game here that really bothered me. Was Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. I don't know how Cincinnati beat Pittsburgh at all. They just got the brakes beat off of them. And then you got Juju Smith-Schuster before the game making a TikTok, dancing in the middle. What are you doing? That doesn't help your... how does that help your team? It doesn't. You just pissed off the other team, and then they laid your ass out, and then he did nothing for the rest of the game. They ripped Juju Smith-Schuster's heart out and fed it to him. That's what Cincinnati did. And I don't understand how... I just don't understand that game at all. And, man, just a lot of weird stuff this week. And also, what was the deal with Russell Wilson in Washington? It's not like Washington's defense is that good. I don't know. But Russell Wilson has not played well. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know why he can't get the ball to DK Metcalf all of a sudden. Just a weird week 15 of football. It was very, very strange. My teams, I was 2 in points, All of a sudden, I put up 160 the week before. I don't even hit 100 this week with the team I had. It's just insane. But yeah, I just don't know. I mean, to me, I think that further cements who's the best team in the AFC. It's Kansas City. That's for sure. I don't know where Pittsburgh's defense was against Cincinnati on Monday, but they didn't show up either. I don't know how you can't stop Giovanni Bernard and whoever the quarterback is now. It's ridiculous. Their defense is too good for that. And I don't know what's going on in Seattle, but Russell Wilson can't seem to complete passes anymore. And it's really, really annoying me that he can't do that. Anyway, so tonight we do get the start of the NBA season. Started last night. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving looked great, which is concerning, right? I had a feeling KD was going to come back strong. I didn't know how the dynamic would work with him and Kyrie. Steve Nash is his first year as a coach. They played really great last night, again, against the Golden State team that does not have Klay Thompson. He will be missing the rest of this year with the torn Achilles. Would love to have seen what a fully loaded Golden State team against that Brooklyn team would have done last night. But we didn't get a chance to. Unfortunately, Klay Thompson did tear his Achilles, and I hope he comes back like KD does. I mean, he's got a torn ACL and then a torn Achilles. Man, he's gonna be missing like, damn. I mean, it's a lot of time missed, man. And I hope he comes back stronger than ever. I really don't want it to be the end of his career. That kid is way too talented. He's way too good. He's a great defender, great shooter. I mean, he's phenomenal. Klay Thompson is a great basketball player, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, no, KD Carey looked great. Last night, the Clippers beat the Lakers. It looks like LeBron rolled up his ankle. Not looking too much into this, but Clippers do look a little bit better, I guess. I mean, here's the thing about the Clippers. It comes down to playoff P needing to be... He needs to earn his name. He needs to earn his nickname, okay? He hasn't. Playoff P, he should change that name. That shit, I mean, what has he done in the playoffs that has... I can't believe... when he tells it to me, I don't believe it. You know what I mean? Like, he needs to get rid of that nickname. If he wants it back, he needs to earn it this year and play in the playoffs. I don't care what you do in the regular season. Sure, you got a new coach. Now you have no excuses, Now you have no excuses, Paul George. You got no excuses now. You better show up. Because you have it in the playoffs, buddy. You have not earned that name playoff P. And Kawhi, too. Kawhi laid an egg last year, too. They shouldn't have not have lost 3-1. I mean, they were up 3-1 on Denver. They should have closed out that series and possibly beat the Lakers. They would have had the best shot to beat them. But, you know, you got to earn that name. But, yeah, I didn't hear much. I didn't hear much today about LeBron's ankle injury. I don't know how serious it is. It looks like he was on the sideline. Looks like he's fine. I don't think he'll miss any time. If he does, it'll be minimal. I mean, as much as I have my opinions or whatever LeBron is, but he keeps his body in shape. He does everything he needs to do. He's a constant professional. Like, he is one of the best players. He is the best player in the NBA. One of the best players in the NBA still. They're going to be a tough out in the West. I still got to see what Denver has to offer and see how it goes. I mean, we can't make assumptions after game one. But right now, I got to say the Clippers do look great. I hope Kawhi can play a whole season. And, yeah, we'll see what happens there. But the Bucks play tonight. And Giannis Antetokounmpo, he signed a Supermax. We got him. We're going to see how this new team looks. We got Drew Holiday. So the starting lineup's going to be Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, Brook Lopez, Giannis. I don't know. Maybe DiVincenzo's going to slide into that other... I don't know. I have to look at the rest of the starters there. But we're going to see they play... Who do they play tonight, actually? They play the Boston Celtics. That's going to be a good game tonight. It's going to see where we're at. Boston was in the Eastern Conference Finals last year with Miami. We'll see what happens there. Also, there are reports that Boston might be interested in getting James Harden. We'll see what happens. I mean, this whole James Harden thing is really, really crazy. He's trying to force his way out. He's throwing basketballs at rookies' heads and all this other kind of crap. I don't know what the deal is there. I know what the deal is there. He wants to get the hell out, which I called, by the way. I said James Harden was going to request a trade and Houston was going to rebuild. But, nobody listened. That's okay. I wish the Bucks would have listened to me and waited, because they would have had the assets to go get James Harden, and you would have had Harden and Giannis. I know people are gonna be like, well, Giannis and Harden don't like each other. Look, man, Kobe and Shaq didn't like each other. They won championships. Things happen. Relationships change once you get people together and they get to know each other and play back. They'll figure it out when they're winning games. Okay. No, I have no concern about them not liking each other. That's not a reason to not have those two team up. Okay, that's ridiculous. You want to win basketball games, you want to win championships, you need stars. You need superstars. Eventually, Giannis is going to need a superstar. I'm hoping Chris Middleton can turn into a top 15 player, but I don't know. I think he's hit his ceiling, you know? We'll see what happens. But we'll see how good this team looks tonight, man. I think they get the win tonight on the road. Giannis has a lot to prove this year. Early exit from the playoffs last year. Everybody had them either in the Eastern Conference Finals or the championship mostly. And they got bounced in the second round by the scummy Miami Heat. Yes, I said scummy Miami Heat. They tried to weasel their way to get Giannis, but that's okay. So yeah, and then now let's get to the garbage thing of the week here, which is my fantasy team. Okay, we're gonna get to my fantasy team. We're gonna show you why this is one of the worst fantasy football games I've ever been a part of ever in my life. Okay. We're going to get to it. I probably should have been there already, but I'm not. Alright, here we go. So right now I'm playing for third, guys. Unfortunately, I was the champion in this league last year, and I had to give up the belt. Which, by the way, hold on. Let me go get the belt for you. Hold on. I should be wearing it right now, because this is the last time I'm going to have it on. Hold on a minute. And here we go. So this championship I got to return back to the league because we will have new champions this year. Need I mind you, and I will say this championship that they're winning will have an asterisk on it because I do have the best team in the league, and I think I got hosed last week. So let's go off of last week's game. Okay, check out the score here, 90-104. Look at these matchups I have. By the way, he started Ben Roethlisberger Monday night, by the way. So, let's go over this. I have Aaron Rodgers against Carolina. Let's look at Carolina's defense. What they've done. Okay. Let's look this up. Yeah, fantasy points. Let's look at this. Pat Mahomes put up 30. Tom Brady put up 31 on him. I mean, look at this. Kirk Cousins put up 26. Drew Lock put up 25 on this team. Okay? Aaron Rodgers, 18. 143 yards. 1 touchdown. Run rushing touchdown. You're telling me how well Aaron Rodgers is playing this year, he's not going to put up over 20 points against Carolina at home? Give me a break. Let's look up Devontae Adams. He screwed me this week, too. I mean, he's been playing at an all-time high. I mean, look at this. Mike Evans, 19. 23 from Keenan. These are top receivers. Calvin Ridley, 17. Deontay Harris, 12. Julio Jones, 17. Tyreek Hill, 28. Mike Evans, 16. Justin Jefferson, 22. Chad Beebe, 13. KJ Hamler, 21. Devontae Adams, 7. After the year he's had. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. A.J. Brown. He has 5 receptions, 44 yards. Playing against one of the worst defenses in Detroit. Let's look at what Detroit's giving up to wide receivers. DeAndre Hopkins, 18. Look at this. Look at this. Will Fuller put up 32 on him. You're telling me Devontae can't give me 15, 20 points in this game right here? Melvin Gordon did well. I mean, I didn't expect 22. I expected 12. But Kenyon Drake, I don't know what's going on in Arizona. They just don't seem to want to run the football anymore. I mean, I was projected to... I have DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf. Look at this. I mean, DK Metcalf against Washington should have put up at least 15 to 20 points. In this game, Russell Wilson, let's just look up the game here. Look at how garbage this is. 121 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What kind of nonsense is this? Like, the chances of this happening to me with this team is like really low, and it all just fell apart. My team just didn't do anything. And it's not like I was blown out. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, if I'm going to lose, I want to lose legit. Like, you want to lose legitimately. Like, your team should perform normally what it was supposed to. No. I mean, look at the week before. 168. That's what my team did last week. Look at this. Road games, by the way. This week I had Aaron Rodgers at home, A.J. Brown at home, Devontae Adams at home, Kenyon Drake at home, Melvin Gordon is at home as well. Against Buffalo, he did really well. Mike Gesicki, which he went down, man, that really hurt me. I put up 21 points there. That was a great pickup by me, by the way. DK Metcalf, 15 against the Jets, which they're the Jets. You're supposed to be able to do that. You can't give me 15 this week against Washington. You can't do that. Russell Wilson, you can't throw for more than 121 yards. Aaron Rodgers, you can't go over 100 yards either. Frustrating. I should be playing for the championship. I should be defending this, and I'm not. And it pisses me off. Nothing I can do about it. I'm playing for third this week. I'm playing for scraps. Which sucks. This is all just shit. And I'm sorry. This whole episode of the Chewie's Bodega, by the way, is Mandalorian and talking about sports. So I mean, now we're at to the part where, my saltiness, where I talk about fantasy football and how much I just despise it right now. I'm telling you right now, if I outscore both these guys, man, I'm gonna be pissed. This week, we'll see if I get third, man. I don't know. I would like some money. That'd be cool. But yeah, I gotta give this up this week, which I will. Jose, you're gonna get it. Don't worry about it. I'm doing that today, actually. I need to go work out actually in a little bit here. So, all right. Anyways, guys, that's it for me, man. That's Chewie's Bodega, episode 2. You put my thoughts out there on the Mandalorian, the season, how great it was, how the finale was, how much of a crappy weekend the Packers had playing against Carolina and other teams in the NFL. Tonight we do got basketball. We got the Milwaukee Bucks playing against the Boston Celtics. Do watch that. I will be watching that tonight. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. This episode 2 of Chewie's Bodega. Definitely let me know what you think about my thoughts on the Mandalorian. What do you think about the finale? Do you feel the same way I do? Do you feel differently? What do you think about the Green Bay Packers' chances of getting the 1 seed? Do you think they can make it out of the NFC if they do get the 1 seed? And fantasy football, how did you guys do? Let me know what you guys think. Are you guys in your championship games? Did you get screwed like I did? Let me know what you guys think. And also, like the video if you like this video. Dislike this video if you don't dislike this video. Subscribe to my channel. We'll be putting up more episodes of Chewie's Bodega. Maybe the next one I'm thinking about doing is talking about Monday Night Nitro, episode 1. My God, that episode was something. All right, guys. Anyways, take care. Have a great day. Have a blessed day. Merry Christmas out there to everybody. Be safe. Enjoy it with your family. Don't do anything stupid. Just we've all had everybody's had an interesting year with 2020, man. Let's end it right. All right. Anyways, guys, take care. Have a blessed day. Bye.